This is Sunrise Extra, streaming live on Wave Now.
Thanks for joining us for Sunrise Extra here. It's now 7 o'clock on this Monday. Did you guys have a nice weekend?
I did. I had a bit of a lazy weekend, which I can never really complain about. But you have kids, so you don't really get that ever.
Not a lazy weekend.
You deserve one, though.
I know.
You have to listen to my rants consistently about how you deserve one.
So tell the boys, if they're watching right now, your mother deserves a weekend. Go spend the night with your friends.
There. Yeah.
What she said. But yeah, Olivia and I saw each other at the Bats game on Friday night.
We did.
So
Perfect timing for it to wrap up and then the shower started.
And as everyone was leaving was when the shower started, so that was nice as well. For anybody heading out today, we are mainly quiet, but we'll be watching for more of those showers and thunderstorms moving into our region for later on this morning and then the afternoon. So right now we are seeing a mix of sun and clouds anywhere from Bullitt County through Adair County. Things are quiet and calm, but we still have the flood watch in place for most of us. This will go until 8 p.m. Keep in mind that we are seeing a couple of these scattered showers across parts of our region, seeing some of these showing up from portions of Du Bois County and into parts of Orange County as well. A few more of those scattered downpours in portions of Jennings County. Everything that we're dealing with this morning is relatively light, but we still have some of the heaviest rainfall off towards our west that will eventually try to move back towards us later on this morning and into the afternoon. We are starting off the day with temperatures in the 70s. We'll end up in the 80s for later on today as we talk about more of those showers and thunderstorms coming our way. Of course, the heavy rain, the damaging wind gusts will be something else that we'll keep an eye on. I'll break down the chances for that. Plus talk about those mid-90s trying to show up for later on this week in just a bit. Ladies.
Thank you. Former LMPD Officer Brett Hankison will learn his fate today after the Justice Department revealed it is not recommending he go to prison.
The former LMPD officer was found guilty of violating Breonna Taylor's civil rights the night she was killed. Federal prosecutors recommend Brett Hankison get credit for time served, pay a $100 fine, and serve 3 years of supervised release. A jury says Hankison violated Taylor's civil rights when he blindly shot into her apartment in 2020. The U.S. Probation Office previously recommended a prison sentence of up to 14 years. Civil rights groups, including the Louisville Urban League, say the new recommended sentence is, quote, disrespectful and dangerous. DOJ prosecutors defend the change, pointing to no other prior convictions for Hankison. His sentencing hearing is scheduled for 1:30 this afternoon. It was a busy weekend for Louisville police, who responded to at least 5 different shootings across the city.
The series of violence put multiple people in the hospital and left a teenager dead. The most recent happened around 5 last night. Police say a man was shot in the leg close to the intersection of Westport Road and North Hurstburn Parkway. They later arrested 62-year-old Michael Rogers in connection to the crime. He is charged with assault. And before that, around 11 a.m., police found a 31-year-old man who had been shot in the leg. That happened on 38th Street, just a block north of West Market. He was taken to the hospital. And just after 9 Saturday night, police were called to another shooting. This one happened on Garland Avenue near the Shawnee Library. Officers found a woman shot in the leg, and she was also taken to the hospital.
One of those weekend shootings was deadly. Around 7 p.m. Saturday, police found 16-year-old Arian Carr on South 45th Street across from the Flagey Field Park. They say he died after being shot several times. LMPD has not arrested anybody for his death. And we've learned a man is still in critical condition after a shooting in Pleasure Ridge Park. Officers found the victim on Moravian Drive on Saturday. He had been shot several times in the torso. We talked to one person who's lived in the area for decades. He didn't want to appear on camera, but told us the shootings are something that's become all too common.
Gunshots still go off. I mean, there was one Monday, one here the other day. To me, it's normal. I don't even I look out my window just to see maybe how close it was, but I hear it all the time.
So I was going to say, if it was a youth thing.
Of the shootings that LMPD is looking into this weekend, there has been an arrest in just one of them. If you have any information, you can call police completely anonymously by calling 574-LMPD.
We can't control the way that Santia was taken, but I'd like to have a little bit of say in the way that she's remembered.
We're hearing from a mother who lost her daughter in a double homicide in Shively.
Amia Cox and Santia Simmons were both shot and killed in a home earlier this month. Police say the man suspected of shooting died by suicide. Now, Santia's mother wants both women to be remembered for who they were and not just what happened to them. Sonia Parker says she lost not just her daughter, Santia, but She was close to Amia Cox. Amia was supposed to marry her son soon. She says both women were on a good path and had plans for their futures. Now the family is raising money to give Santia a proper burial. Even though she says nothing will bring her back, this would help them heal.
It just don't make no sense. You're not supposed to question the Most High, but this one here is a little hard, you know?
We just want to be able to put her to rest and do it the right way, in an honorable way, the way she would want.
35-year-old Bradford Ward was the man accused of killing the two women. Shively police say he had a history of domestic violence. Investigators say he was in a relationship with Santia. Amia also leaves behind two children. Santia's family has started a GoFundMe for her funeral expenses, and we have that link on our website, wave3.com.
As Louisville continues to deal with gun violence, we've heard from city leaders and organizations looking for answers to the problem.
Now, city leaders are launching a new program called Get Busy. Wave News reporter Kirsten Foote has the details. Kirsten?
Yeah, Olivia, Shannon, this is through Mayor Craig Greenberg and the Office of Violence Prevention. It's a part of Greenberg's Safe Louisville crime plan, and their goal is to provide middle school-aged youth who live in areas that are most affected by gun violence with new opportunities and activities, both after school and on weekends throughout the upcoming school year. And now the Office of Violence Prevention is offering 3 $116,000 grants to proposals from groups that address violence and promote youth development. The hope is to bring those organizations together to help Louisville's kids.
Every single child in this community is a life, and a life that deserves a bright, beautiful opportunity. And we will continue to look for and identify solutions to give our youth a pathway that is bright and beautiful. And we do feel that the Get Busy initiative is one of the solutions to that. It's pouring into our youth. It's connecting them to programs and mentorship that really does allow pathways into a positive future.
And the programming must take place in the Russell, Park Hill, Algonquin, and Southside Americana neighborhoods, and each proposal must involve a minimum of 3 community organizations. And applications for these grants are open right now. There will also be an information session today at the Office of Violence Prevention's office at 1 o'clock. The deadline to apply will be August 20th at 11:59 p.m.
Thank you, Kirsten. And by the way, how were they able to choose those specific neighborhoods?
Yeah, so the Office of Violence Prevention tells me that those neighborhoods are chosen because they have the kind of most prevalence with gun violence and can use, the most help in that area. And so there's 3 grants that are available, and one of those grants will go to each of those 3 neighborhoods.
Gotcha. Thank you. Still to come, a new pipeline is the latest conversation at the Bernheim Forest.
Find out why a funeral was held for the forest over the weekend. A man charged with killing his girlfriend in... Oh, wait, no. We're going to start weather first. I was just rolling with what was in the prompter. We're busy talking, trying to catch up here. But
it's a Monday. Sometimes that happens. Your brain's not quite,
No, it's not. It's not working. But Tawana, we're going to let you go first here with weather.
I mean, my brain's not working either, but I'll do my best. I'm even drinking caffeine over there. That's how you know it's going to be an interesting day. What we're dealing with right now, of course, some of these clouds overhead in our Kentucky Mesonet cameras. We are getting some sunshine through those clouds, so grab the sunglasses as you are heading out, but also please do not forget the rain gear. We still have the flood watch in place for most of our region. This will go until 8 p.m. this evening as we keep an eye on more of those spotty showers and thunderstorms coming our way. As of right now, a little bit of light rain showing up in some parts of Wave Country, anywhere from Perry County up into portions of Lawrence County. A little bit more of those showers fading for those of you in Jennings County. Keep in mind that we still have the boundary, we still have the front sitting across our area, and they will funnel more of those storms our way for later on this morning and into the afternoon. But this morning, at least, most of us are quiet as temperatures are sitting in the 70s across the board. We are going to continue to watch for more of those scattered showers for the morning hours for those of you along and north of 64. So where we've seen those spotty showers so far this morning, we're going to keep them around through that 8, 9 o'clock time frame. But after 9 a.m., this is when more of the heavier rainfall starts to come our way, and we'll keep an eye on some localized flooding issues, especially for those of you in southern Indiana who dealt with the majority of that rainfall yesterday. We get into the afternoon hours, and we'll start to see more of the heavy rain shifting further to the south. So it will become a Kentucky issue through the afternoon and evening hours. The heavy rain, the gusty winds, the localized flash flooding, all things that we'll closely monitor for later on today. Then as we get further into tonight, any rainfall that's still across the area will fade. We'll see those clouds clearing, and your temperatures will end up in the 60s for the majority of us. So here's what we're looking at in terms of rainfall. Notice many of us looking at less than an inch of rain. But in some pockets, we could see 1 to 2 inches of rainfall. Honestly, I would not be surprised if some of you saw some slightly higher totals. That's entirely possible for today. Now, the middle of the week is more about the heat. For tomorrow, we'll see a mix of sun and clouds, an isolated rain chance in the afternoon, highs in the upper 80s and low 90s. But then we head into Wednesday. More of us are to climb into those 90s for highs for that heat index near 100 degrees. Going to keep that potential for more of that heat around that heat index near 105 into Thursday. Now, our temperatures do drop just a bit on Friday. That's because our rain chances start to increase then, as we have yet another system moving our way for the upcoming weekend. So for your Friday, more of those scattered showers and thunderstorms in our forecast. Then we'll keep that for Saturday and portions of Sunday as well. And some of that rain will even last into Monday. That is why the weekend is going to be cooler, but a little bit more humid as we deal with those rounds of showers and thunderstorms. We do see temperatures trying to bounce back up on Tuesday as a little bit of that drier weather tries to return to our forecast then. But unfortunately, it doesn't last very long at all. By next Wednesday, we'll see some more of those showers and thunderstorms coming our way. So for today's rain chance, certainly the heavy rain will be the main concern. Just keep an eye on the Wave Weather app.
Thank you. A man charged with killing his girlfriend in Louisville is set to be in court today. Officers arrested Jamie Shelby in southern Indiana last week. Police say he shot and killed Latasha White. White's body was found in the woods with a gunshot wound around Newport Road May 7th. White's family had not heard from her in 10 days before her body was discovered. LMPD says White and Shelby were in a relationship. Shelby is charged with murder, domestic violence, robbery, and possession of a handgun by a convicted felon. He's set to be arraigned this afternoon. Also scheduled to appear in court today, a Louisville Metro Corrections guard accused of assaulting a man being booked into jail. It happened last May. Corrections officer Chase Branson is accused of shoving Joseph Cortina into a metal door as they were walking to his jail cell. Then in the cell, while other officers were holding Cortina on the floor to take off his handcuffs, Branson tased him. Cortina had been arrested at the airport for being drunk. A lawsuit filed by Cortina claims Branson taunted him during the booking process. His lawyer says Branson's discipline did not go far enough. LMDC says it suspended Branson for 15 days following an internal review. The agency said it put Branson on leave following the criminal charges.
Happening today, a pretrial conference is set for a third man charged with murder in the Harvest Homecoming shooting. Shermichael Smith is one of 3 roommates from Louisville who faces multiple charges, including murder and attempted murder. Smith is accused of shooting 2 people who were injured, including victim Brendan Hagan. 18-year-old Bryce Gerlach was also killed in the shooting. His 2 roommates, Joshua Smith and Darius Tuff, have already taken plea deals in the case. Joshua was sentenced to 10 years in prison. Tuff sentenced to 37 years. Smith will be in court today at 1:30 p.m.
A Louisville martial arts competition is taking on more meaning after it was the first year of the event without a teen who lost his life to gun violence. Kickfest is a deeply personal competition. It's hosted by the Arabian Federation Martial Arts Academy, especially for Raheem, the event organizer. Raheem's nephew, Jakiri Cross, was shot and killed in February. He was playing basketball at the California Park Court when 3 of the people he was with pulled out guns and started shooting. While his friends took off running, Cross never made it off the court. Raheem remembers his nephew as a fierce competitor, talented, and a good kid. Raheem says teaching martial arts and putting on events like Kickfest can save other kids like his nephew.
But it's going to take all of us. It's going to take me that can say Sarah, Tommy, Sue, because I know them. I'm from there, you know. So it's going to take all of us to have confidence within ourselves, confidence within our abilities to make those decisions, to get out there and meet them where they are and bring them home.
2 arrests have been made in Cross's case. 19-year-old Sean Grady and a 17-year-old were charged with murder, attempted murder, and assault in connection to the crime.
As LG&E and Kentucky Utilities continue building out a pipeline on the edge of Bernheim Forest, a group of community members is mourning the green space that will be lost. Over the weekend, opponents walked from the Big Fort Bridge to the River Road Amphitheater, playing processional songs and carrying a casket that reads, quote, "Died from corporate greed." In 2023, a Bullitt County judge ruled in favor of the energy company that allowed them to seize a portion of Bernheim's Cedar Grove Wildlife Corridor. The pipeline is going in an area most people will never see, but those who were part of the funeral say they will feel the impacts.
The main concern is that it's a wildlife corridor, and there are so few large tracts of land left, even in Kentucky these days, and it's those wildlife corridors that species need. The migrating birds need it, these endangered species need it.
The pipeline's construction was approved last December, and crews started work back in April.
Groups across the Commonwealth are talking about the future of Kentucky's energy grid. Dependable Power First Kentucky is a group that wants to promote reliable and affordable electricity, and they were at a meeting in Western Kentucky talking about recent electricity rates in the state. A new report shows they will likely increase. We've told you about plans for data centers. Critics say the power needed to run those will raise the cost of electricity. Dependable Power First Kentucky is asking people across the state to contact state, local, and federal leaders if they're expected to be impacted. The report also suggests Kentucky's reliance on coal has helped maintain low electricity rates over the last 2 decades when compared to other states.
New on Sunrise, Floyd County's recycling program is closer to being a thing of the past. Our partners at the News and Tribune report the Floyd County Council voted 4-3 in favor of dissolving the program. This is the second time the council has approved ending the program, but a final decision won't happen until a 180-day period is up. The window will give leaders time to find alternatives that may include hiring a private company.
Just ahead, a local nonprofit is doing what they can to help veterans and their families who have fallen on hard times.
Those details, plus how you can help, still coming up on Wave Sunrise Extra.
A Jeffersontown nonprofit is doing what they can to help people who have served our country and fallen on hard times. On Saturday night, USA Cares held their annual gala at the Galt House. The group supports service members and their families who are struggling financially. And they raised money with an auction, bourbon pull, and more. The president and CEO talked about what they do to help people in need.
We step in when there's a financial crisis, and we stop the eviction, we stop the foreclosure, we help them find jobs, make sure they have food, and we're going to really stabilize that home so they can get the help that they need.
To donate, volunteer, or if you are a veteran who needs some help, you can go to usacares.org.
A local group is taking steps to make home ownership attainable for more people. The Smoketown Community Land Trust is building 7 new affordable houses at what it calls the Hancock Street development. It will eventually encompass the corner of Hancock and Jacob Streets. The Smoketown CLT says they're able to use subsidies to lower initial investments and the overall price of the homes. They also have deed restrictions, which will limit the resale price of the houses, making sure they remain affordable for future buyers.
Our housing will be affordable not only for this generation, but the generation after that, and then the one after that as well. We are putting home ownership back into the hands of the community members, which is absolutely exciting and wonderful.
If you'd like to learn more about the group and the work they do, they're having a session next month. That'll be on Saturday, August 16th at the Camp Edwards Community Center. You will need to RSVP for that, and you can do that on their website. Construction in front of several Nulu businesses couldn't slow the fun of this year's Summerfest. Hundreds of people took to the streets of Nulu to celebrate.
I mean, all these like shops and bars and restaurants right here, it's nice to be able to just walk to and not have to Uber or drive and worry about parking on the street.
The annual festival took place on Saturday, and there was plenty to do. People enjoyed all kinds of activities from putt-putt to sandcastle making, even a petting zoo. As for the construction in the area, people there say it didn't bother them since they were there for a greater purpose.
We work around it. In the end, it's only going to improve the neighborhood, and we find a way to, work with them, work around it, and we're still able to throw a great event.
And it wasn't just the guests who enjoyed the event, but business owners in the area said with the construction, they haven't seen that many people in the area in a while.
The music of 2 legendary classic rock bands will be performed at My Old Kentucky Home State Park in Bardstown tonight. Journey from the Heart will take the stage as part of the 2025 Budweiser Live at the Park concert series. The tribute band honors the music of Journey and Heart. So, this is going to be a great show. That performance will start at 8 o'clock, and the tickets are $30. 2 great groups, so that'd be fun to listen to that music.
Great to blend them together.
Yes, yes.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back in a couple minutes with more.
This Wave News Update is sponsored by Oxmoor Auto Group.
Good morning. I'm Shannon Kogan. It's 7:26. Today, former LMPD officer Brett Hankison will be sentenced for violating Breonna Taylor's civil rights. The U.S. Probation Office previously recommended a prison sentence of up to 14 years, but last week, federal prosecutors changed that recommendation. They say Hankison should get credit for time served, pay a $100 fine, and serve 3 years of supervised release. A jury says Hankison violated Breonna Taylor's civil rights when he blindly fired into her apartment in 2020. Civil rights groups have criticized the new sentence recommendation from the DOJ. That hearing is scheduled for 1:30 this afternoon. We'll let you know what happens. Here is Tawana. How are we starting today?
We are starting off today with some of these scattered showers and a couple of thunderstorms now trying to fire up in parts of Wave Country. Seeing a few more of those heavier downpours now in Perry County, so we'll watch that for you. Some more spotty showers anywhere from Bedford to Seymour, so we'll keep an eye on that. And a few isolated showers trying to show up in portions of Scott County and even into Washington County in Indiana. Your temperatures are still in the low to mid 70s in most spots. As we continue throughout the rest of the day, we'll watch those temperatures jumping into the 80s for your highs, with additional rounds of showers and thunderstorms for the late morning into the afternoon and into this evening. Keep in mind, we're not talking about nonstop rain through this entire time. However, some of these thunderstorms can produce very heavy rainfall and some gusty winds, so please stay weather aware. Of course, we still have the flood watch in place for today until this evening, so that means localized flash flooding is still a concern for many of us. Thankfully, for your morning commute, things are quiet across the region. We are seeing some slow speeds showing up on Bardstown Road near the Snyder, and also for those of you on 65 northbound approaching the Watterson Expressway.
Hey, good morning, and thanks for sticking with us here on Wave Sunrise Extra. I'm Olivia Russell. Hope you're having a great Monday morning. Well, it's been a long legal dispute between LG&E and Bernheim Forest, but LG&E has been allowed to start construction for a gas pipeline through the forest. It's a saga we've been telling you about for years, the legal back and forth, and this weekend several people gathered to put the matter to rest. Quite literally. Wave News reporter Julia Richardson tells us about the special funeral they held for part of the forest.
Today is really a wake for our Save Bernheim movement, for the Cedar Grove Wildlife Corridor, and for this effort that Bernheim Tribe waged so valiantly to try to get LG&E to change course.
Advocates joined in a New Orleans-style funeral procession from the Big Four Bridge to the River Road Amphitheater on Sunday.
We're mourning for the wildlife and the water and the land that's being lost.
Protesting the 12-mile pipeline's construction through what they call a vital part of the forest.
No fuel costs, no waste. No fuel costs, no waste. The main concern is that it's a wildlife corridor, and there are so few large tracts of land left, even in Kentucky these days, and it's those wildlife corridors that species need. The migrating birds need it, these endangered species need it.
The pipeline is going in an area most people will never see, but attendees say they will feel the impacts.
This pipeline is fossil fuel infrastructure. We will wind up paying for that in future years, and I don't look forward to paying for things that become useless assets 20 years from now.
Advocates acknowledge they may have lost the fight against the pipeline, but emphasize they are still fighting against fossil fuel infrastructure and want companies like LG&E to take notice, especially for the sake of the climate.
I want them to go to work on transitioning to clean energy sources that don't emit greenhouse gases. And the sooner they do that, the better it will be for all of us. I think we are all going to suffer if we don't get with it on addressing climate change and doing it immediately.
The pipeline's construction was approved last December and crews started work in April. The Federal Department of Education has agreed to distribute $1.3 billion for after-school programs. Recently in Washington, 10 Republican senators urged the Office of Management and Budget to release the funds. Senators emphasize these programs have bipartisan support and are vital to local communities. The Trump administration withheld more than $6 billion in grants as part of a spending review. That money was supposed to be released on July 1st. Governor Andy Beshear says more Kentuckians are getting their GEDs. Beshear says since 2020, 25,000 people have taken advantage of the waived testing fees to get their GEDs. Testing center staff are traveling to communities around the state that lack access to in-person adult education services. For Wave Country, that means Adair and Taylor counties, and you can learn more about by going to the website we have that link over on our website, wave3.com. Well, we know that students are about to head back to school. It's right around the corner, and for JCPS, that first day of school is August 7th. For some, it'll be their first day of school. 5- and 6-year-olds are getting prepared through the district's Ready for K camp, learning how to ride a bus and walk in a line. Very important jobs right there. Wave News photojournalist Marty Pearl takes us there.
So what we are doing is we are preparing our students for kindergarten. We are focusing on each of those skills, whether it be literacy or math skills, along too with those social and emotional skills, because we want them to start kindergarten without having any fear, building that confidence level, letting them, go through routines and schedules. Looking at the feedback from teachers and families from years past, because this is our 11th year, we have seen that, our students, they are more confident. They walk into the classroom, they are a little bit more prepared in regards to academic, social, and emotional. And then, of course, too, just that confidence of making friends, and that transition is huge for our students.
Where does the A go? Let's see. I think it goes right there. Yeah.
We are hoping that they leave here prepared, excited to learn, and the most priority, too, is for them to leave here confident and ready for kindergarten.
Big thanks to photojournalist Marty Pearl for that story. JCPS held Ready 4K camps at 4 different sites on Friday with more than 800 incoming kindergartners participating, and they look like they are ready for kindergarten. But so many kids start the school year without the supplies they need, but you have the chance to help in a very easy way. Wave News, the Neighborhood Place, and Furniture Fair have teamed up to collect donations of new school supplies for local students. You can drop off the supplies at either Furniture Fair location now through July 30th, and your donations will go to kids across Wave Country, helping them get a great start to the school year. Well, next week, you have the chance to tell Norton Children's what they should build on their new pediatric care campus near I-64 and the Gene Snyder. It'll sit on more than 150 acres of land with a full-service hospital for children who have complex medical needs, plus research facilities and expanded specialty services. There's a listening session on Tuesday, July 29th from 6 to 7:30 at Tully Elementary School. You can talk to project leaders about what features should be offered on campus on top of the already announced amenities. Registration is encouraged, and you can scan the QR code in this story over on our website, wave3.com. New this morning, a Kentucky teen is on a 16-week journey to raise money for a good cause. She's working to raise money for Norton Children's Hospital. 15-year-old Leah Kerr says this fundraiser is to raise $16,000 for patients. She says it's all in celebration of her 16th birthday, which is coming up on October 24th. Kerr says she wants to raise the money by that date on October 24th, so make sure we can do that by then. And the reason behind her big birthday wish is because she says she wants to make things a little bit easier for patients receiving care at the hospital.
They have bigger things to worry about, and I think that I feel really privileged. And so the 16 thing, I made everything about the project for 16, kind of spreading awareness for other kids to be able to make it to their 16.
And we have a link to donate to support her journey on this story on wave3.com. What a selfless thing to do on your 16th birthday. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more news coming up in 2 minutes. Well, we've been giving a big shout out all morning to the Wave team. They took home some awards at the Ohio Valley Emmys over the weekend. Former anchor John Bull was nominated and won in the categories of Anchor News and Societal Concerns. He has more than 100 Emmy wins, Very well deserved there. He's had such an amazing career. We really miss him after he retired. And Natalia Martinez, Mark Wilson, Scott Isaacs, and Johnny Trigo came out on top in the documentary category with their documentary 23 Seconds, a Louisville Mass Shooting. Jeremy Mertz, John Bull, and Mark Wilson also got Emmys for their work in the historical cultural nostalgia category, and that was with the Derby 150 Moments in History story. That also will give you chills right there just watching it. You can find all of that over on wave3.com or on the Wave News app. I highly recommend you check them out. Well, Shark Week is back, and among the new Toothy Television Traditions new specials is one that aims to teach people how to survive a very rare occurrence, but something we all think about so often, and that's being bitten by a shark. Rick Damagella reports.
It's a beautiful day. You're out fishing, but what you don't realize, not only does the kayak look like a prey source, the paddles, they're almost like fins gliding through the water.
The summer tradition of Shark Week is back with an instructional new show.
Never dangle anything over the side. That's one of the most dangerous things you can do.
Diver, author, and shark attack survivor Paul DeGelder is part of 4 new programs during Shark Week, including How to Survive a Shark Attack,
where I actively get bitten by multiple sharks in multiple scenarios to try and teach people how to survive or how to help someone that they're with who's been attacked by a shark.
Off the coast of Grand Bahama, Paul DeGelder and his team are demonstrating how to survive a shark attack.
I think it's a really important show to make. It's very personal to me because I don't want people to have to go through the pain and trauma and torment that I went through.
The prosthetic limb releases synthetic blood, which could trigger a feeding frenzy.
They're just sharks doing sharky stuff. That's their home. We're interjecting ourselves into their world, so we need to respect them. And, I never blame the shark for nearly killing me.
Oh! They're starting to bump me now.
In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damagella.
He has a great attitude about it, that's for sure. Doesn't blame the shark, but still, scary to think about, that's for sure. Well, rapper Tyler, the Creator's new album will release today. This will be his 9th studio album. It's called Don't Tap the Glass. In the past year, Tyler has released new music on a Friday, but this last album also skipped that Friday release date. Very curious to hear his new music. Christopher Nolan's upcoming movie is breaking the box office a year in advance. Within 1 hour, about 95% of the tickets were sold for next July's The Odyssey in IMAX. Officials say this is the first time a commercial feature is being shot on IMAX cameras, and the first time movie tickets have gone on sale this early. The star-studded production includes Matt Damon, Tom Holland, Anne Hathaway, and Robert Pattinson, so I'm sure that's going to be incredible. Los Angeles Dodgers superstar Shohei Ohtani is hoping for another big hit, but this time it's off the mound. Look how cute it is. You probably recognize him, that 3-time MVP, co-writing a children's book about his dog named Decoy. Decoy is such a fan favorite because he is so adorable, seems like such a good boy. Ohtani posted a teaser on his Instagram on Thursday. That was a photo of Decoy sitting next to the fictional book. It's titled Decoy Saves Opening Day, and it goes on sale early next year. The book will support nonprofits helping to rehome stray and abandoned dogs. So Decoy helping out. You'll love to see that. 2 superstars right there. We're going to take a quick break for 2 minutes. We'll be right back. Well, a lot of stories to get to in the sports world, including some bad news for Cards fans after the alumni team, the Ville, made an early exit in the TBT yesterday. The team had to fight back after getting down by 25 points to the team's sideline cancer in the third quarter. At one point, the Ville was able to cut that lead to just 4 points, but it wasn't enough as the Ville falls by a final score of 75-63. Here's Ville head coach Luke Hancock after the game.
It's definitely on me to not put that press on a little earlier. You know, I felt like if we could just get it to under 10 by that fourth quarter, we'd have a great chance. And we made a run, but just a little too late.
So with the loss, we will no longer have a chance at a rematch from a game last year when the Ville took on UK's La Familia. But as for La Familia, they took on War Ready. That was the Auburn alumni team. La Familia led most of the way. War Ready went on a run late, though, to cut La Familia's lead to just 2 points. And a late steal and finish by Archie Goodwin saw La Familia win it by a score of 80-76.
I'm not going to say we needed a game like this, but the way we finished it, I think we got stopped 7 or 8 straight times. That was the basketball game, and that gave us a chance to do what we do and finish this thing out.
And we are now down to just one local team left in the TBT. So La Familia will host Eberline Drive tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. And thanks to the Ville's exit, that means La Familia now has a home court advantage through the rest of the tournament. Wishing them luck. Well, from the court to the pitch, now let's talk about soccer too, because Lou City will try to rebound this week after a disappointing draw against Tulsa on Saturday. Cameron Lancaster scored an amazing goal to open the scoring in the 93rd minute. It marked his first goal for the club since the 2023 season. And just when you thought the boys in purple should hold on to that lead, Tulsa fired back, scoring in the 96th minute to tie the game. Head coach Danny Cruz saying after the game they let this one slip away.
Feels like 2 points dropped for sure. And we got to, we talked all week about their goals come from set pieces. 11 out of the 21 goals they've scored have been set pieces. So we knew that's the strength. Defended them well until the end of the game. And you end up dropping 2 points.
The boys in purple's next game will be against in-state rival Lexington FC on Saturday before returning to Lim Family Stadium to take on Germany's Frankfurt next Tuesday. But the ladies in lavender were also in action this weekend, playing far away from home. On Saturday night, Racing played host Sao Paulo FC in Brazil in the Women's Cup. The game went to a penalty shootout after being tied at the end of stoppage time. Goalkeeper Jordan Bloomer saved Sao Paulo's first penalty, along with them missing their last, and Racing converted all of their penalties, advancing to the final on Thursday night at 7 p.m. Now let's switch over to golf, where Scottie Scheffler continues to show us why he is the most dominant player on the PGA Tour since Tiger Woods. Scheffler has now won 2 major championships since his dramatic arrest here in Louisville before the PGA Championship last year that we all remember so well. Scheffler won the Open Championship yesterday to complete the 3rd leg of his career Grand Slam.
That's not what fulfills the deepest desires of your heart. Am I grateful for it? Do I enjoy it? Oh my gosh, yeah, this is a cool feeling. I can't wait to get home and celebrate this championship, with the people that have kind of helped me along the way. But at the end of the day, it doesn't fulfill the deepest desires of my heart.
And he talks about his deepest desires being spending time with his wife and his child. Certainly a very sentimental moment there for him. But with yesterday's win, he becomes the 3rd golfer to win multiple majors by 4 or more strokes in a single year. That joins Ben Hogan and Tiger Woods, so he is certainly in good company. But Louisville native Justin Thomas hit a putt during the Open Championship that you just have to see to believe. Go ahead and take a look at this.
Same putt Ludwig just made. It was slightly to the left. Oh, wait a minute.
Hang on a second.
Wait a minute.
Oh, Justin can't believe it.
Didn't it feel like it looked like it was moving?
They're just waiting for a gust, John. Any type of gust.
Anything.
And they keep waiting. They keep waiting.
Oh, man.
They keep waiting. Oh, go. So with just one more rotation, Thomas would have made birdie instead of par. Thomas went on to shoot 3 under for the tournament, finishing tied for 34th place. But English golfer John Perry has never won a PGA Tour event. He's never finished inside the top 15 in a major championship. However, all eyes were on him on Saturday as he did something that every golfer wishes they could do. Take a look at this moment.
Justin Leonard. This was a moment ago at 13.
A little bit of a flatter ball flight, but turning over to that left hole location.
Oh,
how good.
Oh, it looks good. Oh, come on. A hole-in-one at 13 for Perry.
Yeah, they said looked good. I'd say it looks better than good. That looks perfect right there. The hole-in-one for John Perry. He finished the tournament with a final score of 7 under, so that means he finished tied for 16th. That is his best ever finish in a major championship, and even finishing at 16th, I looked it up. It looks like he took home $185,000, so a nice payday for him. The WNBA festivities wrapped up last night as Team Clark and Team Collier faced off in the All-Star game. With all eyes on this game, the players used that opportunity to make a pregame statement, continuing a battle they have faced for years. You can see their shirts right there. They said, "Pay us what you owe us," amidst ongoing collective bargaining agreement negotiations between the WNBA and the WNBA Players Association. Venus Williams is making her return to tennis today. The 7-time Grand Slam champ accepted a wild card invitation to play singles in the 2025 DC Open. It'll be her first tournament after a 16-month hiatus. Williams, who turned 45 in June, hasn't competed in an official match since the Miami Open in 2024, and her most recent Grand Slam appearances came in 2023 when she exited in the first round at Wimbledon after slipping in the first set and hurting her right knee, but it will be nice to see her back there on the court. Well, thanks so much for joining us. That's all the time we have here for Wave Sunrise Extra. Hope you have a great Monday and a great week ahead.